Hey, what's up, Stringlings? Today we're going to do a video review of a brand new single, debut single, from a friend of mine over in Finland. Let's check it out. Okay, as promised, I'm going to do more review videos coming up. I know my friends in Indonesia have got a long list of songs, especially from Alip, that they want us to check out. A few more tracks and live cuts from Voice of Baceprot. But today I'm going to give my friend a little shout out. He goes by Liemus on Instagram and Spotify, and make sure that you follow his Spotify link. I'll put it down in the description below because he is a curator of amazing metal playlists and probably a few others, and really that's kind of where I know him from. But you know, we've talked a bit on Instagram, and he's a fantastic guy, kind of guy you want to hang out with. This is a brand new single. This is also his debut single, and it's featuring the phenomenal guitar work of Samuli Federley. So let's get right into it. Let's check it out. This is the YouTube video from Inverse Records. Let's just get it started. Let's hit play here.
We find the defendant guilty as hell.
I'm going to pause there for a second. I just love this. This is studio shots. This is where musicians are living right now, right? They are living and thriving. You can see Samuli is right in his studio there. It's sort of like mine, but reversed. I don't have a MIDI controller, but yeah, we're going to see a lot more of these kinds of videos coming out, I think, as musicians are just kind of dealing with where they are and working in the space that they have. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to back up a little bit. I want you to take a look at his right hand technique, on both on the sweeps and on some of the alternate picking. It's very compact, but it's clean, very, very clean. We're going to back up just a bit, take a look at the right hand technique here, especially on the arpeggios. Right here. Okay, so I'm loving the drum thing with the stools. I think that's super cool. Really great way to do it. I don't know if there's a band involved here. It sounds time-locked, kind of sampley, but I could be wrong. So let me know if if you know better. But I just really like the effect, the impact it has. I think it's great. It's clean. It's entertaining. I just love watching this video. It's like a home video, really. It's very cool. Back it up. If only it just didn't happen. So I'm going to go to the guitar tone first, because that's what I do, and I love it. It's tight, but it's not like that. You know, it's nice that we're moving out of you know, the rev generator kind of thing into 412 of vintage 30s. Like, it doesn't have that kind of typical modern metal tone to it, but it's thick, but it's not muddy. And I think, you know, if you're doing something like this, you have to keep in mind, I know a lot of guys like to do the scooped mid. The problem with scooped mids is that it takes you out of the mix, right? You're blending with the bass and you're blending with the hi-hats, and there's this like gap in the middle, which in modern production is just a big no-no. So first of all, fantastic guitar tone. I could groove on this all day. I really want them to put out an album. I was talking to him earlier. He said, maybe not yet, but it's just a great sound. Vocally, really solid. For a debut performance, it doesn't sound like a debut performance. It sounds really solid. It's right in a good range. There's no strain at all. We get a little bit of fry. That's that kind of growly, crackly sound when we get up higher, which is what you want. We can talk about the sort of tradition of that tone in the vocal range. Rob Halford and Bruce Dickinson, right? As they get up higher, you get that kind of, it gets clearer and clearer and clearer, and then it just scratches it at the top. And I think, as we're coming into the chorus, you can hear that sort of ascending sound. So it's clean, 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 clean gravel, but it's not strained. It's punchy. It's got that aggression to it. It's really nice. Let's just see. We'll build up here. Nice and clean. Right there. Good harmony with himself there, which is nice. And we're doubling up the double time feel on the kick drums here, so we're just like really punching in. I feel like there might be a solo coming up.
Now you sit alone, staring at an empty wall. The weight of guilt is rising. We run from a past you like to forget. If no one can see all the pain inside of you, please go away. How much longer can you keep on carrying it with you?
Do we need to classify this? Is it groove metal? I don't know. Is it symphonic metal? It has a little bit of elements of all of these. I'm loving this song, by the way. So this is on my permanent playlist. It's also gone into my workout mix. So, it's there.
No one can see all the pain inside of you. It's crying. Can you keep on bearing it another stone cold day?
Some mode change there, right? Flipping into the major. Okay, camera guy. Don't cut away from the tapping riff for air drums. Don't do that. I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you for doing that. Okay, because I want to learn this solo. Okay, back to the top of the solo. So he's going into a major key here, which is a really cool flip. We don't get a lot of major key stuff in metal, but I think this is a really cool way to do it. Okay, before we get into the shout chorus here, take a look at the structure of the solo, okay? It's not, I don't want to get into like a classical argument where there's like always a structure to guitar solos, but there is a way to develop guitar solos. A lot of people are asking this over on Facebook and some of the forums. How do I improvise well? How do I write good solos? And there is a little bit of a structure to it. And if you've got a little bit of a plan, you can get a really good, so this is a really good melodic solo, even though there's a ton of shred in it, right? And so what is it? It's melody, fast break. In this case, he did a special technique, tapping, right? Fast break, a little melodic section, then some shred, fast scales, kind of a bluesy, blues rock section, and then fast scales again. We're going to review this thing one more time, and I might do a full breakdown on this because I think it's really worthwhile to start analyzing guitar solos if you want to know how they're put together. So here's the start of the solo in a major key. You'll hear him use the dominant seventh, the 5/7 of the minor key that we've been in all along, and that's going to really reset that lock. So it's a tiny little break from all this minor intensity, right? So there's your melody, right? Little melodic intro just to lead up to the fact that we're going to do something really kick-ass right now, and this is going to be the tapping section. This little slow down for a break. There's the shreddy bit, and we've got some nice high-speed footage to go with it. An arpeggio section done in a sequence so that we're highlighting what the harmony is doing. So we're linking melodic passages with high-speed riffs. This is a very, very effective technique for building an interesting guitar solo that isn't, you know, beginning to end nothing but scales, right? The scales are there, the speed is there to connect these melodic sections. And the melodic sections, you can't tell necessarily from what he's doing in this specific solo, but melodic sections are always just slight variations of whatever the melody of the song is, right? So we're outlining the chords of the song with notes in a melody, and we're embellishing them, and then we're linking them with these high-speed sections. So he's back to another sort of slower melodic section, even if it's just a bar, right? just a bar or two to give the listener a break, and we'll end up with a little bit more shreddy stuff. There it is. Let me throw a little God of Thunder in the back end there. So that is If No One Can See by Liemus featuring Samuli Federley. And what a great song, right? The vocals, they're not covering a massive range. And I think we need to get that into our heads sometimes, right? You don't have to be hugely dynamic, hugely virtuosic singers to really get the point of the song across. This happened to be a lyric video, but it didn't need to be, because one of the things about this particular song, this particular track, is I could hear every word. I actually listened to this earlier today. Confession, this wasn't my first time listening to it. I listened to this earlier today in my car, so I wasn't reading the lyrics as they went by, and I got the point of the whole song. And that's super, super important, guys. You have to enunciate. The lyrics are there for a reason. It's not just a vehicle for you to scream over. I don't have any problem at all with really growling, thick vocals. I don't have any problem with really kind of high shrieking style vocals, but there's got to be a reason for it, right? Everything we do in music is for a reason. You see the stack of pedals back here. Some of them are not plugged in because I'm working on something. And if the pedal doesn't suit what you're doing, you don't use it, right? Everything you're using has to serve the music. And when you're doing a song, everything you're doing has to serve the lyric. That's the job of the lyric, right? That's why you have lyrics. They're not there for you to do a bunch of vocal pyrotechnics over. They're there to get the point across. This is an exemplary performance for what I think. Again, this is all my opinion. You can have a different opinion. I don't actually care what your opinion is, but you can have a different opinion. But this is a good example of what a solid metal vocal sounds like. Now, can you take it up a notch? If you're more experienced or a better trained singer or whatever, sure, why not? Look at what the guitar player was doing, right? He could have done, a straight up blues solo, right, with a ton of gain and make it sound metal, right? But you can tell that this is an experienced player by the way he's structuring things in a way that makes it an interesting solo. Whether it's improvised or not, I don't know. I don't know if he improvised it. I don't know if he wrote it. When I say wrote, I mean, you know, composed it and rehearsed it in that order. But I think, you know, again, overall, really great track. I would love to hear a whole album of this kind of stuff, but you know, maybe we'll be happy with what we get. I'm super happy, super satisfied with this. Congratulations, Liemus, for getting this out. It just came out this week, actually. What's the date today? Came out yesterday, so there you go. So it's brand new to the market. It's on Spotify, it's on Instagram, it's all over the place. I'm going to link to as many versions of the song and video as I can find. It's also on Bandcamp, so if you support independent artists, please, please, please get a Bandcamp account and pay for the music you love. Pay for it, download it, listen to it as much as you want. Buy albums from the artists. Don't buy through streaming services that pay, you know, thousandths of a penny per spin. Buy it directly from the artist. Put the money into their next project. That's where it's got to go. So number one thing, go over to Bandcamp, get this MP3, okay, and then follow him on all of his channels. Actually, both artists. I'll put both of them up on all of their channels, okay. And while you're at it, remember to like and subscribe to this channel so you'll get an update every time a new review comes out. If you have any suggestions for videos or songs you want reviewed, throw them down in the description. I'm also going to be putting them on a different Instagram channel coming up in the near future. And if you like this kind of thing, head on over to Patreon and consider becoming a patron of the channel. It doesn't take a whole lot of money, but it really does help me out, and it pays for things like lights and guitar strings. So that's what we're here for. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the song. I hope you continue to enjoy the song, and I will see you next time.